in the hills of Wisconsin is 4 miles and 14 turns of track, where the Trans Am cars are about to go full throttle.
The Trans Am Championship on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Three Dimensional Services Group, Prototype Production, Proven. By Pirelli, power is nothing without control. And by Ryan Companies US Inc. From commercial real estate project conception to completion and beyond, we put our hearts into creating spaces that bring your story to life.
Elkhart Lake is home to America's National Park of Speed, none other than Road America. Founded in 1955, they hosted their first Trans Am race in 1970, and they've never looked back. It's a fantastic venue where Trans Am as a racing series really comes into its own, and the sheer horsepower of the Trans Am engine is at the very heart of this event.
That's right, Courtney. I'm pretty excited to see what these muscle cars can do. With our two classes, our TA2 class up to 500 horsepower and these TA cars up to 850 horsepower. It's going to be a lot of fun to see who has the most grunt getting down to the end of the straightaway. I mean, these cars finally get a chance to let loose on this 4.048 mile track. And I'm really curious to see which one of these manufacturers comes out on top.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, these cars were roaring through the countryside of mid-Ohio, and after a couple of rocky rounds for the top contenders, they were back to the fore. While Rafa Matos led from the front in TA2, the big battle was going on behind him, with Tony Bufamonte, Doug Peterson, and the Xfinity NASCAR boys all in the mix. Doug Peterson getting his best finish of the season in 5th, and Bufamonte hanging on for a valuable 2nd place to keep him in the hunt for the championship, and leaving the points table looking like this. Rafa Matos then leading the way with 198 points ahead of Tony Bufamonte on 180, then Jordan Bupp still in the hunt in 3rd with 129, Keith Prochuk 4th, Shane Lewis in 5th, and Tommy Sheehan rounding out the top 6. In the other mid-Ohio race, youngster Warren Dexter is still sitting pretty at the top of TA4, while Mark Bowden's return wasn't enough to knock Eleni Cipriani of Brazil off the top spot in TA3. In the TA class, Paul Fix, consistent pole winner, hung on for several laps, but eventually debris under his car and a tyre replacement under caution cost him the lead. Ernie Francis Jr. coming from 7th place on the grid to take another win. So the precocious driving talent of young Ernie Francis Jr. of Florida still dominating at the top of the table, which looks like this. Ernie Francis Jr. on 190 points. Lawrence Loshak keeping him honest on 145. He's 5 ahead of David Pintarek in the Cadillac. Then it's Chris Dyson 4th, Amy Ruman, Simon Gregg, Kerry Height in 7th, and Paul Fix on 81 in 8th position.
Thanks, Johnny. Coming up, we've got the Ryan Companies TA2 race. And big news from TA practice, it looks like our points leader, Ernie Francis Jr., might be racing in this car this weekend.
The champ starts the weekend with a bang after this break.
Welcome back to the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli here at Road America. TA Championship leader Ernie Francis Jr. had a big moment in practice. So Jake's here to check on the champ.
You had a scary moment. Glad to see you're okay. What happened?
Yeah, definitely was a hairy moment for us out on track. Coming into the kink, one of the other TA cars blew their engine, laid some oil down on the track, and I was unfortunately the first car to go through it and kind of sent us into the outside concrete wall pretty quick, about 120 miles an hour. Tore up the car quite a bit, but we'll get it fixed for the next event. And Kerry Hitt was nice enough to loan us his backup car here. So we're going to go out there and start the race in that. Just get points, so at least not a total loss for the weekend, and we can kind of retain our championship lead that we have.
Well, I'm glad that Ernie's okay, and hopefully he'll be able to compete in both races this weekend. But on to the TA2 class, Johnny's down, catching up with one racer who had a slow start to the season, but he's built up a head of steam in recent rounds.
Thanks, Courtney. I'm here with Scott Lagacy, and obviously a big weekend. And your season seems to have improved as the races have gone on. Tell us a little bit about it.
It's been fun. Got a great group of guys. It's a brand new car that we don't have any teammates. I'm obviously a rookie road racer, so I'm getting better in leaps and bounds. So I'm pretty happy.
You've got another bunch of Xfinity guys who are strong.
Those are a lot of my buddies, so it's fun to race with them. You know how they're going to race you. You trust them. They're going to run you hard. That to me is good, fun, hard racing. You're going to compete against Rafa. There's been a handful of drivers in my career that have made me challenge myself and get myself better, and he's won. For me, at Mid-Ohio was the biggest bummer is I lost power steer and I got off his back bumper, you know, because I was ready to play with him.
These are very fast cars. We're doing 116 in turn one. We're doing around 120, 125 through the kink. It's an absolute great track to race on. It's my home track. I have many thousands of miles here. We were third in the points at Mid-Ohio, but we lost some points to Jordan Buck, a race winner at Indy. So yeah, I'm hoping to get some points back on him. Bufamani and Matos are pretty up there. So I think they're kind of out of our league, but yeah, we certainly got a good battle for third, fourth, and fifth. Tom Sheehan's right behind me, so yeah, I want to get back that third spot and keep climbing.
Well, Tony, every race is important, but I get the feeling, looking at the championship standings, this one is a big one for you.
Absolutely. This is a huge race for Mike Cope Racing. We've got a 6-car fleet here this weekend. We've got some NASCAR Xfinity boys joining us for the weekend, and you know, we're getting down there. Second half of the year, we've struggled a bit in the first half. We've certainly had some challenges at some of the torquey tracks against the Chevys, and this one we get to stretch our legs a little bit at Road America. We've had success here in the past, and we're going to need it if we're going to have a chance at this championship.
If you're going to pull one off on Rafa, this is the place to do it. Effectively your home circuit and a place you've won before.
Yeah, we have a great time here at Road America. We've been coming here for a long time. It's a kind of circuit that suits my style pretty well. You've definitely got to be committed here. You love to see these ponies roar around this circuit. The Dodge, the Chevys, and the Fords all going at it. When you're talking about 4 miles in a 2-minute, 13-second track to be split up by 1/10 of a second, it's absolutely amazing Trans Am racing.
This weekend's racing is supported by Ryan Companies, and head honcho Tim Gray is looking forward to racing his number 60 car on his home turf.
This car handles very well at Road America.
And it looks as though it's going to suit the Ford Mustang.
Yes, it does. We are very competitive in our business. Ryan and Trans Am is a great fit.
Joe Stevens of Stevens Miller Racing called me up to come run the Berryman's Liquid Moly Ford Mustang, and you know, it's hard to pass up. I love these cars. They're really awesome to drive. They just take, you know, a real driver to get the most out of them. You know, they're nice and raw, and they have a lot of power. You still have to shift them, and you know, it's all up to you in the car. You don't have any electronic aids, stuff like that. So they're really exciting, and you know, kind of like a emotional experience to drive almost. Yeah, you know, I guess I'm here to spoil the show and try and get a win. You know, the Stevens Miller guys have been working really hard all weekend to get me the best car they possibly can, and we just had a really good practice session, so I'm looking forward to qualifying in the race. I think we have a good shot at it.
Our very own Jake Dallenbach was last year's Trans Am pace car driver, so he has the lowdown on the fastest way around this 4-mile track.
Here at Road America, we got a lot going on, and there are 3 main corners that I think are going to be the key to success here. The first corner is turn number 3. After turns 1 and 2, that's the big corner on the first big straightaway. So in order to get a run and get a pass done in turn 5, got to get a good run off 3. The next corner is turns 9 and 10, the carousel. You want to get in there really well so you can get a good run to the kink. So after the kink, going into 12, you can outbrake the guy in front of you and get the job done before 12 and 13. 14 obviously is going to be a big one. That leads us on to the big front stretch. So you want to get a really good run off of 14, especially if you're looking to get a last-ditch effort on the last lap to get a good pass in. And that's a lap around America's National Park of Speed.
Well, it's such an exciting track, Johnny. How did the TA2 qualifying go?
Well, thanks, Courtney. Yeah, all eyes were on Rafa Matos, the championship leader, but he didn't get pole position, and nor did second place Tony Bufamonte. Bufamonte was third. Matos did make the front row, but pole position went to the ringer from the Xfinity Series, Matt Tifft. He hasn't had much luck in Trans Am, but he did get the pole.
A little surprised. I felt like our car had a lot of speed over the practice times and some of the testing on Thursday. So I definitely felt like we had good speed in it. But the biggest thing was just trying to learn more about this course and being on the NASCAR side, learning how much I can push these cars. But Mike Cope and everybody here did a great job preparing this car, and I'm excited to not only get my first pole, but hopefully get my first win here today.
Tiff, one of several youngsters vying for glory here at Road America. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Elkhart Lake and round 8 of the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. The TA2 drivers are already in their cars, so let's head straight over to our commentators, Jake Dallenbach and Johnny Green, for the Ryan Company's TA2 Muscle Car Challenge.
So Matt Tifft and Rafa Matos on row 1, Bufamonte and Majeski row 2, Lagasse, the man on form, in row 3, Jordan Buck third in the championship, Dylan McAhaven and Brandon Jones row 4. Good start, great start from Rafa Matos on the outside. Really good clean start, and they all dive in. Bufamonte slotting in the 34 on the inside into what, 4th place as they head down the hill for the first time. Coming into turn 4, tight left-hander down through the gearbox. You can see the flames flying, the crowd loving that. This is one of the great places to watch at Road America. On board with Goikerberg as he comes together slightly with Lagasse Jr. But now a full course yellow, an accident behind. That was John Atwell who caused it. Let's have a look at what happened. And the Texan just spinning round on the straight, and a big hit by Atwell. And there's damage. There's a lot of damage. Well, it would look good on a train if he was trying to get some cattle out the way. As they come up the hill, we're racing again. On board with second place Tiff. In Road America, good start from Rafa Matos. He pulls away at the start and heads down towards the first corner again. Rafa Matos in the three-dimensional services. Camaro leads the way. On board with 4th place, Ty Majeski, as they head down the hill one more time.
I'm not sure if he spun his tires or something on the restart, because he fell back.
Whoa, we got an out-of-control 25, and whoa, that was a big move. I don't know what happened to Goikerberg there, but he just suddenly started going sideways under braking, and whether something broke on the car, I don't know, but that was a right mess.
Really good save by Ty Majeski.
Yeah, no kidding.
He almost got caught up in it.
Just kind of looking at the other driver coming through his windscreen at the moment, but that incident. Now, there's the 34, there's Bufamonte. Francis Jr. in the grey and black 44 just behind him. So drama at turn 4 here at the restart. Second place, Matt Tiff's got a run on Matos from second place as they head down towards Canada corner. Tiff's got him and takes the lead. Nicely done by Matt Tifft. Holds it all together as they go through Canada corner. And Matos has got to build again, but they're side by side again as they head towards the end of this lap. Great racing between these two. Tifft holds on. So in terms of the championship, we want to see if Lagasse can get up there and challenge. Likewise, Jordan Butt, but he's struggling somewhat in 6th place, just ahead of Francis Jr. 25, Goikerberg letting the leaders through. I think Matos is struggling to get on level turns, whereas the big battle is the one we're watching now. Now more back markers coming into view, but this is the battle. Look at this. Majeski in 3rd place. Here's 4th place Lagacy, and Bufamonte waiting to pounce if Lagacy doesn't take the chance as they come down to turn 4. Bufamonte right up there now. Good grunt up the hill.
Yeah, I think Bufamonte is probably a little bit of a priority to get around Lagacy. Because that's a points guy.
Yeah.
That's a points guy. Whereas,
ooh, mistake there by Lagacy, went very wide. So another lap completed, 8 to go. Here's your leaderboard. Tift, Matos, 1.6 seconds. Majeski dropping the gap slightly from 4 seconds down to 3.2. Bufamonte still hot on the heels of Scott Lagacy Jr. Down the hill they come. Crucial turn here. The right-hander to get onto the back straight. And you can see nothing between Lagacy and Bufamonte.
I think Bufamonte's
going for a run here. Jake, your call. How does he do this?
Right now. He's got to outbrake him here.
Last of the late breakers then into turn 4. Bufamonte's done it. Bufamonte's got him, but Lagacy says, no, I got the inside line, my friend. Now he's going to go for a good run up the hill. Lagacy goes wide. This is another opportunity into the next corner. He's not close enough. Down towards the carousel now. Bufamonte looking for a way past with 8 laps to go. Lagacy, another big mistake. He is Larry, isn't he?
Yeah, the harder Lagacy pushes, when you go out there and you slide, you're losing time. So anytime he gets a little squirrely off the corner, that's just an instant where Bufamonte, just like that.
Just like that. And Lagacy under pressure now. Here comes Boof. And these guys have got some history. They've been going toe-to-toe, wheel-to-wheel.
That's putting it
bodywork to bodywork since Indianapolis. That's putting it lightly. Very evenly matched. 500 brake horsepower Chevys, Mustangs. And Tift, Matos, and Majeski.
Starting to spread out, it looks like.
Yeah, a little bit at the front, but this is a great battle here. And Francis Jr., they are, I tell you what, they're using the track, aren't they?
You got to use all the track, yeah.
No kidding. There's your leader again. The clock ticking down, and the laps ticking off as 5 laps to go. And there's, look at this battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. Well, Rafa, if you haven't felt pressure this season, you've got it now, my friend. This is going to be a cracking finish. And at the moment, Majeski looking for a way past, is as close as he's been. Into turn 4, back up the hill, through the gearbox, little squirrel. As the rubber hits the road, and there's no question that Rafa Matos under enormous pressure now from the Mustang. This is what he feared all weekend long, isn't it?
Yeah, and the closer Majeski gets, the closer Lagacy gets, the closer Bufamonte gets. So.
And talking of close, Bufamonte's got to run on Lagacy again. Let's take a look just as they come through. Look at this. Here comes Bufamonte. Down towards the carousel. Back markers in the way. Got to be careful here. This is where it gets really tight.
Yeah, I think that that hurt Majeski there.
Yeah, and it certainly doesn't help Lagacy too, because they're all weaving in and out. Oh, and in the background, where he goes, he's taken Bufamonte with him. Out goes the 34 on the back marker. That is the number 82. That's Frank Delaney. And look how close. Yeah, see, look. I mean, well, he took a big chunk off, but the point is, he was more offline than he normally would have been at that point because of letting the others through.
I think Delaney's trouble started entering the corner.
Yep.
I think he was carrying way too much speed, and as he got in there.
Okay. Well, the good news is Tony Bufamonte is out of the car. Bitter disappointment. That's really ruined his championship hopes, and it hasn't helped the day of Frank Delaney, who will pull off and out of the way. We'll take a short break. Back with more action from Road America after this.
The Trans Am Championship on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Ryan Companies US Inc. From commercial real estate project conception to completion and beyond, we put our hearts into creating spaces that bring your story to life. And by AEM, engineered to outperform.
Welcome back to Road America, where Matt Tiff leads them up the hill for the restart, on board with Rafa Matos. Here he comes, looking for the lead, and also looking for the lead. Majeski, it's a three-way battle for the first corner, and I don't believe it, but look at this. Majeski in the 00 Newman Wax car takes the lead for the first time. Brilliant stuff at the restart, and now look at him go. Rafa Matos drops down to what, 4th place? He's in all sorts of trouble now, the Brazilian. And the NASCAR boys weren't holding back at the restart. They've done this before. And now it is Majeski who's chief cheese here at the front.
Well, Tift and Matos were there banging off each other.
I know,
Majeski really.
Matos got on the mud for a second. He's lucky he didn't get into real trouble. He managed to save it. Peterson going through just behind Ernie Francis Jr. And look at the gap he's pulled. And if he keeps this up on this lap, he's going to do really a perfect last lap, and he's home dry. Never say that too early, though. We saw what happened here at this place last time. That's where we lost Buffamonte a couple of laps ago. That's what brought out the caution. And Majeski looking for his first win. Ty Majeski. Now, can Rafa recover to get a podium? And I would have thought if Rafa doesn't at least make the podium. And as they cross the line, Ty Majeski takes the white flag. Jordan Butt third in the championship, remember. And this is going to be a really good result for Jordan Butt, too, with Buffamonte out. It could push Butt right into a position of challenging Buffamonte into the next round at Watkins Glen. Into turn 4 they go, down the back straight. Tiff with one more chance, possibly. Scott Lagasse trying to hold off Matos. Matos all over him. Will he make a move at 4?
He better. He's running out of options.
I don't think he's close enough. He's looking for it. Here comes Rafa. Don't use the brakes. Go on, son. And he does. Lagasse lets him through, and he doesn't use the brakes because he's gone wide. Rafa, good idea. Run application, sorry. And Rafa makes a good effort but loses another place. So Rafa is going to be spitting. Brandon Jones is the man who picked up that place from him. But out front, it's Ty Majeski. Time running out as the two NASCAR Xfinity boys, first and second. Scott Lagasse is going to be the first of the regulars to come home after a great run. Matos still putting pressure on Brandon Jones, who just squeaked by him a moment ago. Onto the grass and dirt goes Majeski, really pushing hard now. Rafa Matos, who had the world at his feet just a few moments ago, his closest contender went out, but the restart also was not good for Rafa Matos. He was beaten up into turn 1, and he's never looked back and hasn't been able to get back on level terms. He's now struggling to see if he can get past Brandon Jones, who passed him after a bad move at turn 4. But Majeski heading now towards the checkered flag here. It's going to be a tight finish between the two of them, but taking the checkered flag, Ty Majeski wins the Ryan Company's Muscle Car Challenge, and he just chose his moment perfectly there in the Ford Mustang. A superb restart by Majeski, and that was majestic.
Confirmation of the result then, Ty Majeski with the win over Matt Tift in second, Scott Lagasse Jr. the first of the regulars in third, then Brandon Jones fourth, and Rafa Matos in 5th place.
Yeah, it was an exciting restart. The 26 Matt Tift didn't get going there and held up the 88 a little bit, and I had a great run coming to the start-finish line. I pulled underneath, and there wasn't much room there for sure between him and the wall, but I had the run and wasn't going to lift with 2 to go. So this stuff is a whole team effort, and I don't have much road course experience, so it's pretty cool to come out here with a win.
Now the championship looks like this. Rafa Matos moves to 222. Buffamonte still on 190. Jordan Butt, though, closing the gap, 149. Prochuk in 4th, and Scott Lagasse Jr. moving up the board in 5th. So great racing from TA2. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with more action from Road America after this.
Welcome back to the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. The Road America Classic race is coming up, so Jake and Johnny are chatting with the drivers of the 850 horsepower TA class.
I'm here with Greg Pickett, legend of the sport, 176 starts in Trans Am. What brought you back this year?
These are great cars, Jake. As you know, as a past teammate of your dad Wally's, and we enjoyed that tremendously. These are exciting, big, fast, powerful race cars. I've had P1 cars over the years. I've had all kinds of different race, but these cars are exceptional in their performance. They stop well. They got big tires. They got big engines. You know, almost 900 horsepower. We're knocking on the floor here. So I had a little bit of spare time. I had a bunch of stuff left from my years in motorsports, and I want to accomplish a couple things coming back. One, last year I was able to win a Trans Am race in each of 5 decades. That record may last for a while. I also wanted to, I'm blessed with 12 grandchildren, and I wanted to let some of those little guys, they've heard about Grandpa the race car driver, but had never seen Grandpa the, and I fixed that this past year at Sears Point.
As a road racer, there's no place on earth, certainly for an American road racer, that puts the spring in your steps quite like this place. It helps that we've had a good weekend so far, and I think that the Trans Am cars are just fantastic to race around here. We've got some good competition up front, so I'm really looking forward to the battle.
Heading into battle with an all-new Ford Mustang, one of just 50, Brian Kleeman.
Today we got the new Ford FP350S, which is their factory TA3, TA4 car. So, you know, we're really still doing a little bit of development work on it, trying to get it up to speed. You know, we're looking just for a solid finish to make sure that we've validated what we've done to the car in terms of setup, in terms of power and whatnot. So, you know, top 5 would be a big deal for us.
Well, with a packed paddock, it'll be interesting to see how qualifying turns out. Here's Johnny with the story.
5-way battle in TA for the pole, including David Pintarek in the Cadillac, Cliff Eben in the Ford Mustang. Boris said back in the championship with the Weaver Concepts Dodge Challenger, he got 3rd quickest with a 206.2. And then the front row, Chris Dyson just missing out on pole as the local man, Lawrence Loshak, does it again with a 204.5.
Overjoyed to be on pole at my home track, 204, new track record. But look, there's a whole bunch of guys behind me that aren't gonna make this easy. It's gonna be a hell of a race. Ernie had an unfortunate weekend. We're up front, closing in on you, Ernie, closing up that championship point lead. We're here to win.
Enough said. Lawrence Loshak telling it like it is.
Welcome back to the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. The fans are ready, so it's time to go racing. Here's our commentators Jake Dallenbach and Johnny Green.
Road America is sheer horsepower. 4 miles, 3 big long straights, including the front straight, and this one here, 3 to 5. Then through the carousel, down through the kink, Canada curve, through Thunder Valley, and that finishes the lap at Road America. The grid then, Lawrence Loshak and Chris Dyson on the first row, Boris Said and Cliff Eben, row 2, Pintarek and Rouleau on row 3, and then it's Amy Ruman and Tommy Treacy, row 4. The green flag waves and away goes Dyson. Good start. And Chris Dyson has got away well on the right-hand side in the plaid white and red car, but Loshak recovers well. Boris Said up the inside and into second place goes the sports car ace, and through goes Pintarek, and he's been pushed down on the inside, and turn 1 at Road America gets turned around in the 57 and does make contact, sadly. And that is not what the Cadillac wanted. No surprise, full course yellow. David's got no one really to blame but himself. He was on the inside and had nowhere to go. Got, like you say, a couple of wheels onto the grass, boom, and away he went. And he tried to gather it all together, but just got caught out. And this is the aftermath of that. And look at everybody streaming through. Let's hope nobody's got punches. There was a couple of Dodge Vipers there. Amy Ruman starts the way in 6th position. They cross the line, chasing Loshak. Boris Said looking for his way past at the first corner. Can't quite do it. Dyson in 3rd.
up to 4th position. That's the number 31. Good restart by Dave Rouleau. And Fix has come to a stop. And the race continues down towards turn 4. And it was Tommy Dreese who got overtaken by Amy Ruman. Greg Pickett up into the top 8. Good start by him, the veteran. Another car out. And that's Lawrence Bailey, who was on the podium.
And into the pit comes Tom Ellis in the Chevrolet Camaro with damage to that car. He's out of this race. And that clears the damage to go racing again here.
Road America, away we go. Loshak gets a good start. Boris said, though, we'll try and chase him down. And for Boris to get the waste win here, I've got the feeling that he's got to pounce early. He comes to the outside. It's not the favoured place to go. Dyson looking for a way on the inside. He slots back into line. And Dreese going the long and highway round.
That was a good move by Dreese.
Yep.
That was a really good pass.
Loshak, though, leads it. Dreese thinks about it again. Trying to make a move on the 36. And oh, look at Loshak go. He's off again.
That car is hooked
on rails. It's on rails. McAleese in the all green. He was in the gravel trap late afternoon yesterday, so I'm glad to see he's in good fettle. This man, Kerry Height, is not. And how long can that last, you wonder? We just got a quick glimpse of the TA3 championship leader. There she is, Eleni Cipriani. And it looks as though she's got some real pressure from the number 55. Good racing here. Warren Dexter just behind. There he is. He's in TA4, but as always, holding his own.
Look how good those Janettas are.
Here's another good battle. Look at this. Greg Pickett side by side with Amy Ruman. And try as he might, the veteran can't shake off Amy Ruman. She's holding her own. Down the straight they go here at Road America, side by side. Brilliant stuff. Something's got to give. Great racing between these two.
In comes the 91. That's Kerry Height. No, excuse me.
Ernie Francis.
It's Ernie Francis Jr. who's pulled out. So that is a dramatic turn of events. Here's Amy Ruman.
And Pickett hasn't lost it. He's on it.
I saw that car yesterday, and it's beautifully prepared, the Ford Mustang.
Francis Jr. out of the pits, not his own car, remember, just trying to get as many points as he can.
Ernie Francis Jr. clearly he's not going to score as many as he usually does. Dexter going around the outside in TA4. And the young kid from Nebraska who's been a sensation as a rookie here in the Ginetta in TA4 has just taken another scalp and will march his way on to what looks like a class win and possibly one hand on the trophy in TA4.
Lonely out front for Lawrence Loshak. He's in a world of his own at the moment in the number 2. Having a great day as he heads towards the carousel one more time and surely headed towards yet another victory here and closing the gap in the TA Championship.
The later we go, the more traffic we get. I could see it, but Loshak's just so fast. I don't know if it'll, without a caution, I don't know if Boris can make it stick.
Well, we got a quick glimpse of Dave Rouleau of Wisconsin. Of course, the local fans cheering him on in the number 31. Rouleau Racing Chevrolet Corvette, here he comes. And they're chasing down this man, Chris Dyson, who, as you described, had a rotten weekend in the Mustang. Last time out at Road, Ohio. Through goes the 36. And so it's a good battle between Cliff Eben and Dave Rouleau as they come down towards 3.
Loshak.
No way! So the leader of this race is on the Jackson in the pits. What on earth has happened to Lawrence Loshak?
Oh, and it's gone from bad to worse. Loshak stalls it and can't get it going as he tries to get out of the pits. The man who was leading this race, disaster for Lawrence Loshak. Let's see if he can get it going again. Yes, he does finally fire it up. So Loshak back out, but lost a lot of time there.
Boris said now leads the race. Well, that's a surprise. And he'll be just as surprised as anybody else out of turn 4.
I guess that's the one thing I didn't say is if Loshak comes in the pits for something. So
Loshak back in the pits again, and this is looking terminal. The engine not firing up one more time. They're going to take the hood off and have a look, but this is disaster for Lawrence Loshak in the Chevrolet Camaro. The number 2, who was pole position and leading this race, looks as though it's terminal, and he's out of this race. So too Kenny Buff. Well, so many hopes going up in smoke here at Road America. As we go to full caution again, we'll take a short break. We'll be back after this.
The Trans Am Championship on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Pirelli. Power is nothing without control. By Three Dimensional Services Group, Prototype, Production, Proven. And by Ryan Companies US Inc. From commercial real estate project conception to completion and beyond, we put our hearts into creating spaces that bring your story to life.
Welcome back to the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. Road America, full packed house for the TA, TA3 and TA4 race. We've been under caution. Let's get back to the action.
The green flag waves at the top of the hill in front of our commentary position. Away goes Boris Said. Good start from Chris Dyson, and he's got to make hay while the sun shines here in Road America. He tucks himself up behind Boris, but decides not to make a move just yet. He'll hold back and keep his powder dry, perhaps, until maybe turn 4. Ruben's got a good start. Around the outside goes Dexter, just trying to stay out of trouble. He knows there's cars that are faster than him coming up that hill, but they're all cleanly through the first few corners. Dexter again getting out of the way of the faster TA3 cars. McAleese is through. Here comes Boris down towards turn 4. Dyson isn't close enough for a pass this time. Lights flashing in the TA3 class. Dexter getting out of the way of the Vipers.
That's got... I feel for Warren Dexter.
Yeah, exactly.
He's in the middle of all the fastest cars, yeah.
Whoa, and look at Cindy Lux. Makes a move. Nicely done. Simon Gregg in front. And Lux goes through. Beautifully done. Amy Rubin trying to put some inroads on Tommy Dreesy. And this battle continues. Look at him go.
Dasclos did the crossover on him.
Yeah, he did.
On Cindy Lux coming up the hill.
So these two are going at it, and Cindy really enjoying this, I'm sure. So, TA3, a real battle going on here. TA being run and led by Boris Said. Damaged cars everywhere, blown engines, all sorts of drama going on. The championship leader is out. Loshak, the second place man, likewise is out. Pintarik, third in the championship. He's gone. Dyson, the only one of the regulars. Ruben's in there too. She's currently 5th overall. Simon Gregg is out there running, but he's not going to make any impact, and you can see how much damage there is to his car.
Definitely hurts the aero.
Dasclos getting very, very close to slipping here at Road America. He hit the grass for a second there. Lux back to the battle at the front, and it's tight. Oh no!
Lock up there.
A lock up there, and I thought for a moment there might have been another motor, but it was just a lock up.
And that's
but it's
all...
given a chance for Evan. Here he comes. He's got the drive up the hill. That was a bad turn 14 for Dyson, and now we've got a race on our hands, folks. Here comes Cliff Evan. McAleese is also under pressure. But into turn 1 is the real battle. Here we go! For second place, he comes up the inside. All he has to do is brake late. Nicely done by Dyson. He holds on for dear life to hold on for second place. Just as intriguing, the battle between Jason Dasclos of Albuquerque and Cindy Lux, both in Dodge Vipers, and both not giving an inch. We are on the last lap. Alini Cipriani in the TA3 car just gets out of the way. Boris Said, through goes Dyson as well. She's no problems for him. Remember Loshak going past her. She's doing a good job of staying with him, but he's definitely pulled away from her in that last lap. And look, she's caught up in the corners. Meanwhile, Boris Said going past, ironically, Lawrence Loshak, who led this race early on, but has managed to get back out, but he won't be in contention. It's Boris Said leading Chris Dyson. The TA3 battle is just as close.
Here's going into 8, and that
was where you thought he might make a move.
Yeah, he was close enough. He was just barely too far away.
Well, he's running out of time, and he's running out of opportunity too. And it really is a matter of corners now. If Dyson is going to pull something clever here, he's going to have to do it quick. But I think The mighty Boris Said has outfoxed him here. He pushes hard here, but this is Dyson's last chance. If he's going to do it, he's got to do it now up the inside. He's not close enough, I don't think. Boris gets nice and wide. As wide as he can in that big Dodge Challenger. Final last couple of corners. Can the Mustang do anything about Boris Said? It's been a brilliant win and a brilliant run by Boris Said. Dyson looks up the inside. It's going to be the run to the line and up the hill. Dyson gets out of shape and won't do it, surely. Boris Said's got the drive. He's got better drive than Dyson. And Boris Said wins in Trans Am TA here at Road America. A brilliant win, one that Boris will remember for a long time to come. Great stuff then by Boris Said, and a check on the results sees that Boris Said, Chris Dyson and Cliff Evan make the podium. Amy Ruben is 4th. Greg Pickett, the veteran, comes back to 5th position ahead of West Coast champion Tommy Dreesy in 6th.
I just wanted to go hard. I mean, when you start drinking this Monster, it makes a 55-year-old feel like a young gun, you know, like a real monster. And this Weaver car was so fast, and I'm just so proud to represent Monster. It's one of the greatest American companies. They sponsor everything I like to watch on TV, all the motorcycles, motocross, racing, and Rodney Sachs, Mark Hall, I mean, Mitch Covington. They do such a great job with that company, so just really proud to represent them and get them the W.
Well, despite a rotten weekend, Ernie Francis Jr. maintains the lead with 2:04, did get some points. Chris Dyson still in the hunt with 1:67, only a couple of points ahead of Lawrence Loshak, now in 3rd with Pintarek in 4th place. Great battle also in TA3. Jason Daskalos, last year's winner here at Road America, does it again, holding off Cindy Lux for the win in TA3. Confirmation of the result then. Daskalos, Lux, and Dirk Leuenberger in 3rd position, ahead of Marko Radicic in the BMW in 4th place. Brian Kleeman in 5th.
Road America's wonderful to the Viper. It runs good here. Cindy and I battled it out back and forth. We've been racing together for a number of years, and it was good, clean fun.
Despite that cracking battle, Eleni Cipriani of Brazil stays out on top with 158 points. Mark Bowden 2nd, David Ricci still 3rd, Milton Grant 4th, Tom Herb in 5th place, and Cindy Lux in 6th. And in TA4, another brilliant win by Warren Dexter, which means that Janetta lead both TA3 and TA4.
Well, it was an eventful weekend to say the least. Guys, what are the takeaways from these races?
Well, certainly in TA2 we were hoping for big things for Tony Buffalmonte, but his championship could have gone up in flames really because of that crash. Matos didn't have a big day either. Makes it interesting though.
Yeah, and in TA it was a big shakeup. Ernie Francis was out, Loshak went out, Dyson picked up a bunch of points and ends up 2nd in the championship race. So Dyson a big winner this weekend.
Well, there you have it. The next round's in Watkins Glen, and we'll see you there.